Your vet, the one with his knee on the neck of George Floyd. Let's bring in our think tank tonight to go through how this changes the game. Joining us in Atlanta, Georgia, family law attorney and law professor Randy Kessler. In Austin, Texas, trial attorney Holly Davis. And in Okemos, Michigan, trial attorney Jamie White. Great to have everyone with us. Holly, start with you. It's a trial against one officer now, the first trial. One officer, the lead officer in all of this. How about what we just saw? You've got the rookie twice saying, should we roll him over? I'm concerned here. You've got the bystander who is concerned, yet Chauvin is the one in charge.
I mean, honestly, Vinny, every single one of those officers has a big problem, whether or not that problem is occurring on March 8th or August 23rd. The worst part of that video, in my opinion, is what happens towards the very last 3 minutes, where the audience, the bystanders, the young people, the children are pleading for all of the cops to stop. They're the ones who actually notice that George Floyd has died, when the other police haven't. And so I think this is a really big deal that the judge went around the original idea of keeping the trials together. Now we're hearing it's about logistics and COVID. I think personally, Vinny, that the defense attorneys did a good job getting a workaround and end around by talking to the Hennepin County chief judge and arguing logistics, which gave another insight into what the trial judge should do. So either way, I think these officers have a very complicated case, but certainly this decision to bifurcate these trials really helps out those three officers, because essentially they get to watch on March 8th what not to do and perfect their jury argument. And they basically get to just have a dress rehearsal of their August 23rd show.
Jamie White, it's going to be one-on-one on March 8th.
Yeah, Chauvin's in trouble. I agree with Holly. This helps the other officers, but more so, it helps the prosecuting attorney. This is a complicated case. I agree with Holly in part, and I disagree with her in part. Chauvin, I think, in many people's opinion, there's not a lot to argue about there. I think that if we're going to be objective, the other three officers, while I agree, are culpable from an aiding and abetting point of view. It's a more complicated case. So now the prosecutor in March only has to argue against Chauvin, and that is going to limit some of the evidence that needs to be introduced, arguably. And more importantly, the jury is going to have less to think about. This idea that all four of these men could be blended together as a jury deliberates is going to go away. They're going to have one person to think about and one person only, and that's Chauvin. So you know, the judge, I don't agree with the decision he made. Arguably, I think that the jury deserves to hear this entire story, and they deserve to see all four of these men. I think that was the right way to go. I think the idea that this was logistics was more of a ploy on the part of all parties to buy more time. But here nor there, this is where we are, notwithstanding a change in the decision. And I think Chauvin's in big trouble, more so than he already was.
All right, Randy Kessler, I want to ask you a different question. And for the defense, they're going to argue cause of death, but we're not dealing with that tonight.